Here's some behind-the-scenes magic for you here at F major at a second chord with Miles White, your host, at all hours. On time this week, assuming I can get the... I'm starting early, so it's good. Look, the point is, here's a behind-the-scenes look. I had an episode teed up. I had it planned. Well, I say planned. I mean, as planned as I ever get. I had a point, and I had another point, and I figured I would just fly off. But then I invalidated my first point. I was thinking about, oh man, my dreams are becoming normal. I was like, no, my dreams are not becoming normal. My dreams are becoming weird. I was afraid that my dreams were becoming normal because I had a dream, because I was thinking about my friend, and I ended up at my friend's house in the dream. But then I thought about my friend's house. No one builds houses like that. No one puts colors next to each other. People don't have houses that are like 5 stories tall. And where did the hell did all those tiny children come from? So I was like, this is not... I'm undermining myself constantly. And I'm getting to the point where I talk in circles because I don't actually know where I'm going. So that's where we are behind the scenes here at F major at its second chord. I could stop right now and stop and write an actual episode. And because I have hours, I started early this week. But no, I'm here, we're recording, we're live, and I'm clapping my hands all the time because I think it proves a point. Fleet Fox's review is going to be next week because I need a little more time to sit with the album before I figure it out. But I'm already coming to terms with it, such as it were. I'm not... So I know that I said several months ago that I wanted to avoid political humor. Or did I say that I wanted to avoid political humor, or that I wanted to bring my A game when I eventually broke it out? Look, in the absence of anything better to talk about, and I know it's a couple, but can we talk about Trump Jr. just for a minute? I wanna, because we've known something Russia. We've had the outline of something happened involving Russia for so long that when this news broke that, yes, he published these emails and they show that there was a collusion with Russia, it took me a couple days to figure out what had actually happened. You know? It took me a while to realize that there had been a change, that as opposed to there being, these committees and these suspicions and these pundits saying, yeah, this is a thing that happened. Now we have proof from the campaign that this is a thing that happened. That took me a couple days to figure out, where are we? Like, where are we going with this? This is life now. This is what life is like in this country this year at this moment. I remember last year thinking, well, when Hillary wins, things are gonna be okay. We're not gonna have to deal with this nonsense anymore. But now it's nonstop. It's continuous nonsense. It's exhausting. The nonsense is coming so fast that I don't even know what's happening anymore. The nonsense is coming so fast, there's no time to linger on anything. Does anyone remember the Comey testimony? The Comey testimony was a month and a half ago. I don't remember a word of what he said. He said, Lordy, I hope there are tapes. And I don't think there were tapes. But everyone was like, ooh, he is something Comey. There's an investigation, and Trump is unhappy about that, which is why but like, what's James Comey doing now? I don't even know who's in charge of the FBI anymore. Now you could say, Miles, why don't you follow this more closely? Because what am I supposed to keep up with? What am I going to keep up with? Because am I supposed to keep up with the president? Because the president doesn't know where the president is going. The president doesn't know what's going on. Clearly. Because if he had, he wouldn't have let Junior publish the emails, you know? And the press hasn't got a clue what's going on. The press hasn't had it together since the election. The press has had a conflict of confidence. Ever since, Nate Silver was like, yeah, Hillary's going to win, and then she didn't. I'm still waiting on Nate Silver to publicly apologize for misleading the American people. I put my faith in that man. But here we are. And At the time I'm telling you this, at the time I'm recording this story with the emails is almost, I think it's almost a week old at this point. Nothing has happened since then, which is miraculous. You know? That was that week's story, and I guess this week's story hasn't come up yet. But boy, oh boy, I am not holding my breath for this one. The worst part, for me, in my humble opinion, other than the not knowing where everything is going, and the not being able to keep up, and the nature of the nonsense that I just can't keep up with, I think it's worse because nothing happened for so long. That the latter, 2 or 3 years of the Obama administration, which is President Obama trying to do things and then nothing happening, you know? With the, the whole mess with Merrick Garland and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the election sort of steamrollered over all of that. And now things are happening so quickly that I'm not used to it. So all these news stories break, and these new and interesting developments, but it's a story that I'm just out of practice following. It's not a must-have developed because I haven't had to be vigilant like this before. Because clearly there were just two sides, and they were a stalemate. There were two opposing interests, the Democrats and Republicans, and they were just staring at each other, and that was the way things were. But now, I don't even know who's what now. Because you have Donald Trump going in one direction, and you have the Republican Party going in a similar, but not quite the same direction. And then you have the Democrats trying to stop them. And then you have Republicans who are objecting to things, but of course there's not enough Republicans objecting to things for things to happen. I don't know. This is all just this very fascinating melange of things happening and happening and happening and happening. And now, of course, we can't even follow the media because the media is all fake news. Fake news annoys me to no end. Because one, it puts the media on a defensive footing to say we're not fake news. Like, they have to be, there's no room for error. And two, I'm pretty confident, and I might be wrong, I remember fake news being a liberal thing first. I remember breaking around Comet Ping Pong and that ridiculous mess with the child sex ring that Hillary Clinton may or may not have been running out of a pizza parlor. I remember that's when I first heard fake news. It was like, oh yes, fake news. It's whipping up these people into a furor. It's how Donald Trump is doing so well. And then Donald Trump's like, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. All of his enemies are fake news. What I should be annoyed at is the fact that now that the center of power has changed, what is and what is not fake news has also changed. That's a distressing status quo. What I'm actually annoyed at is that now we're on this footing where this thing that the left was using to point out the foibles of the right is now being used by the right to hammer the left into submission. It will be funny if it weren't so bloody annoying, if I didn't have to live with it. Anyway, that's me ranting about politics. It was good to get that out of my system. Oh boy. Maybe if something else happens, I'll talk about that. Or maybe I'll just sit on it for another, 6 months and then just pour out another 6 months of political anger. Maybe around election day I'll talk about it again. I don't know. I have time. Fleet Foxes review next week. This has been F Major at his second chord. And have a nice week, everybody.